Do you want to agree with me that it's always better to stay in the rural areas? Oh, okay. Sorry, please. Okay. So where can I stand that the camera will capture? I should stay here. Anywhere I stand. Okay. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Do you agree with me that it's better to stay in the rural areas than the cities? Okay. Well, in the course of this exercise, maybe by the time I conclude, you'll be able to make up your mind on whether to live in the rural area or stay in the city. So my name is Adewale. I'm a psychologist of over 20 years experience. So my topic today is on rural settlements is better than urban settlements. Why did I pick this topic for my research? Over the years, I've been wondering why many people at retirement age, they tend to move down to their communities to go and live there. And you find out that they are still enjoying themselves. They don't even bother coming to the city after living in the city for several years. So, I was so inquisitive. I now felt, okay, there is need for me to, do some kind of research, to be able to substantiate, what my feelings are about such attitude. So, I try to look at what urban city looks like. I believe you can see this image displayed on the board clearly. Where does this look like? Oyingbo. Do you know Oyingbo? Anybody has been to Lagos? This is a typical urban center. There is always confusion on the roads. So, these are some of the things that we're going to look at in the course of this program. So, these are the definition of terms. I try to look at the definition of rural settlement, then urban settlement. Rural settlement, as we all know, is like, we call it the village. In this part of the world, when you are referring to your community, you say, I'm going to the village. So this is a place where we have, sparse population, where people live. You don't find many houses. Most people are just going to, they are predominantly farmers. They just wake up in the morning, go to their farms, get whatever they need there, bring it home to cook. They cook fresh things there. While urban settlement, is characterized by, densely populated, infrastructure, buildings, and what have you. These are some of the things that you'll be finding in urban centers. So let's look at the advantages of living in the rural areas. First, there's lower cost of living, which I believe you are going to believe with me at the end of this presentation. You live to be healthier in such places. There's less crime, and in fact, it adds to the number of years you are going to spend on that. Then there's also less competition. Nobody cares. Just go to your farm. It depends on how strong you are, that you can just, farm very well and bring in the produce. The one you take to the market, on market days you can sell. Then whatever you're going to need at home for the domestic feeding and all the rest. So these are some of the, in the interest of time, I'll move to the merits. That's the disadvantages of urban life. Urban life is characterized by high cost of living. You agree with me? Then increased pollution. You see vehicles like what I showed you in the diagram earlier. Moving from one location to the other, moldwares and all these things. Pa, 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 you don't sleep well, and all the rest. You know, that's the noise aspect of that. Then there's also the traffic congestion, which I talked about earlier. Then there's no privacy. You know, in some places, I don't know whoever has lived in Kaduna before. You see, they will say they're living in a yard. You see a lot of families from different ethnic backgrounds and all the rest. So these are some of the things that are characterized by living in the urban cities. Then in conclusion, you know, I look at this as rural life involves better air quality, better foods, greater opportunity for exercise, lower crime, longevity. So my advice here is that plan to ensure that you retire to your village as you tend to decongest the cities and add to the growing number of the residents of your community as well. I have some quotes which I believe you have seen earlier. So thank you very much for listening.